When I started on my journey working with kids with disabilities, there was no federal law. And at that point in time, there were probably over 2 million kids in this country who never even had access to the public schools. Both my mother and father went to UW-Stevens Point. That's when it was known as the Teachers College. And then my grandparents both went to the Stevens Point Normal School in the early 1900s. So basically I was the third generation that came to this school. Because of living in those dorms, it was really interesting to then go back and research who the dorms were named after, and to know that my mother actually was taught by some of the professors with their names. I knew once I left the university that there was more that I wanted to do. And by that time, I had already determined that there was a particular group of kids that I really wanted to work with and who I really felt connected to. And those were kids with disabilities.
I was in a meeting. I was a superintendent of the Southwest Cooperative for Special Education, and my assistant came in and said, "I know you're in a meeting, but the most remarkable young lady just walked in our door." Proceeded to be absolutely charmed and basically interested in the remarkable work that she had done as a graduate student at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. We don't usually do this, but we hired her on the spot. And this remarkable young lady made major contributions to the Special Education Cooperative.
From there we moved to Kansas. And then the first job I had there is I worked for a private research and training company for 9 years.
I first met Alexa when she was confirmed as the Assistant Secretary for Special Education and Rehabilitative Services here at the U.S. Department of Education. Obviously, I already knew of Alexa's work as the Commissioner of Education in Kansas and as a former Director of the Federal Office of Special Education Programs. With real humility, Alexa used to mention that she has held 23 jobs. She brought practical experience here to Washington, having worked at all levels of education, from local to state to federal. And she never forgot how important her job as a teacher was, recognizing the dedication, hard work, and commitment that all teachers need to do their work well.
When I was the Assistant Secretary, we funded all the research that has to do with assistive technology. And a lot of what we see on the phones, on everything, it was developed because kids are blind or they can't hear or they don't have a means of communicating. So we found out ways that we could help them, and what we find out on the other hand is it helps everybody else as well. Technology has absolutely opened the door. There are just so many things that really affect me emotionally. But it's when there's a child who has never been able to communicate because he has such physical disabilities that he has no control over his body, he has no way to communicate, to be able to talk. And what we've been able to do now with a form of an iPad, and you put on, and he's able to now control his own wheelchair, and he can communicate by tapping something that he holds in his mouth, and he then gave a speech to us. And it was the first time he had ever been able to communicate exactly what he knew, what he wanted to express. Kids, once upon a time, we never would have heard anything from them at all because they had no way to communicate with us.
Alexa advised me on issues that are paramount within the disability community, such as providing early learning opportunities to all students. With her great leadership, our department finalized Part C regulations under the IDEA Act for infants and toddlers. These regulations help pave the way for President Obama's Preschool for All plan, which we hope will result in many, many more inclusive early learning education opportunities for our nation's preschoolers with disability.
Alexa, congratulations on receiving this Lifetime Achievement Award. It is certainly well deserved. You are a lady of remarkable brilliance and style. Some people see things as they are and ask why. And others dream dreams that never were and say, why not? And in the end, it was always you who said, why not? It was always you who supported the dream and encouraged all of us as dreamers with you to make a difference in education. There are programs and services across this entire country that are there in large part because of you. The things that you brought to us from the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, they are connected to us as well. And I think them presenting this award to you, which is so well deserved, we thank them, we thank your parents. Most of all, we thank you for encouraging all of us to be the dreamers that we are. Thanks so very much and congratulations.
Alexa, Your hard work as an ally for infants and toddlers and children and adults with disabilities has improved countless lives. All of us here at the department look forward to your continued success and future achievements. Congratulations, and thank you for a lifetime of service and hard work.